Hello Guardians, it is Ebontis here. It is October 2nd, weekly reset is upon us. Thank you all for the huge support on my channel recently. I guess when you do have a video go as popular as my Whisper guide did recently, thank you all very much for that. I did actually do a heroic one on my Warlock and finished it. Surprisingly, I had literally a chance to do one and knocked it out. I don't know if you guys want to see that ASAP or wait till maybe Friday or over the weekend to see that one. Maybe it's a good Thursday upload, a little preview for your Friday work that you can do. Let me know if you guys want to see that run on the Warlock. Not going to say it's the smoothest, but probably the most efficient shooting I've ever had with Whisper on that mission. The bosses just, agreed with me. But that aside, it is weekly reset time, so let's hit the basics. Mercury is your flashpoint. Now, not everybody's favorite because the public event comes up, I feel like, once every 2 hours. But that being said, you don't have to wait just for the public event. You'll have the majors that are walking around, and you'll notice they have the orange bar. So hit those. Those will count towards your progress. They should, at least Mercury, they were supposed to. But also you have your public events, but your lost sector, you can run that thing over and over, pop out, reload the spawn, do that over and over, and you'll have your heroic adventure. The heroic adventure does seem to always spawn with the reset, even if it's not that day. And this will give you 35% on your flashpoint progress. So knock this one out first. Start shooting some guys, pop in out of the lost sector. If you can do all that, wait for a public event or two, you'll probably finish it a little quicker than you think, but it still may take a little while. For the Vanguard, we have a couple pieces. One for heroic story missions, strikes, and the heroic adventures. Your modifiers are going to be Arc Singe all week long. Just learn to love it. And then we've got Grenadier for your 3 times. So you've got your Tuesday, Friday, and Monday for Grenadier. And then the favorite, of course, Heavyweight, making things quite easy to destroy. You're going to have that one on Thursday and then Sunday. So look out for those on those days. That may be beneficial to you depending on when you coordinate your playtime and such. But Grenadier, not as bad. The weeks when it's 3 times Brawler, a little less fun for me. Vanguard strikes, heads up, please, again, make sure, just a public service announcement here, match the light level or the light element, the subclass of your team. Now, if you're going to go in and work on a very specific thing, be like, hey, I want to run solar because I'm working on leveling it up and also can bring melting point to the party. Let them know that, but also it's on you. If you're playing through these and you don't get a checkbox, it's probably because you didn't check what the subclass was. Now, if for some reason they change mid-strike, there's probably little you can control, but just before the boss battle, if you know these, maybe check and see what subclass they're running, switch it over. Boss fight may take a little longer, but you'll at least get your checkbox and you're 1 of 3 for the weekly. So yeah, just be aware of what your party members are running and match their subclass, even if it's just the tail end, so you get the credit for it. Final piece, we do have our Nightfalls for the week. Lake of Shadows does actually have a grenade launcher. Shout out to Houndish putting that info up. I don't have the details on it, but it is a strike exclusive for Lake of Shadows as a grenade launcher. Doesn't look amazing, but it's an exclusive. Tree of Probabilities is one you may want to farm. That DFA hand cannon still can be pretty good depending on the rolls and stuff you've got on your hand cannon so far. This one is still fairly sought after. I don't have it yet, so I will actually see about giving this one a shot. And then the Arms Dealer, of course, a pretty reasonable one. It's the strike probably we've run the most from beta and forward. And when you get to the end section where the platform starts to rise up the big elevator, what you can do is if one part of your team members, before you have that thing go all the way top, jumps all the way up the chain, and then comes back down. When you actually start the elevator process, you'll have the little pod come down, kill a few enemies, and then the entire ride up, instead of having the boss show up like halfway, pretty much if you jump all the way up the chain, you kind of like kick off his spawn early, and you'll have the entire ride up. And if you have a group and you just want to finish this thing, run a Singe that is probably not solar because Cabal hurt, and just dump rockets, Whisper, something with long range, snipers, linear fusion, sleeper, all that stuff on your ride up. Doesn't have to be solar, just whatever you got. And by the time you get to the top, especially if 3 people, maybe drop a super 2 and the guy's going to be dead. So ease of finishing, I would probably say Arms Dealer with probably Arc or Void, but definitely not solar. That's going to be a bit tough. And then Heavyweight as well will be obviously majorly beneficial. If you really just want to run Sleeper and Whisper and you just want to melt him down, just know the fight through all the Cabal at solar is going to be a bit painful. But that's my advice if you're looking to finish it. As for the 100,000, not entirely sure on that one yet. You guys will notice my current setup right now is actually a pretty popular one. Match Game, Blackout, and Extinguish, and whatever Singe you think might work best for that strike. Main reason is match game gives you a very high point modifier. Blackout is mostly just avoid being meleeed, and if you have a team, it's not quite so bad if you do. And extinguish, you don't want to all die anyway for points and time as it is, and that's a good way to get points. So this one with maybe like 10 or 15, my buddies and I finished the Inverted Spire last week and actually broke our 100,000. So working on your Nightfall ranks, this is something to consider as well. This does seem, even me checking the internet and Reddit and other places, a very popular setup. Match game, Blackout, and Extinguish. Extinguish is just don't everybody die, and Blackout is don't get meleeed, no radar. But if you communicate with your team, match game, you do lock in, so make sure each one of you has something. Say either your energy slot, or if two of you are going to run sleeper, make sure somebody else has like an edge transit, which I'm sure no one has. But if you do manage to come across an edge transit, that way your void is covered. Maybe an arc bow in the middle for one of you. Just have a little variety in there, and then you guys can pair up to, whoop the boss in the end with whatever supers and power you've got. So that pretty well covers the Vanguard. Gambit, you guys know, Malfeasance is out there. Now, heads up, during the escalation of the overtaking of the Dreaming City, as the weeks progress, last week was the most predominant week of Taken, as you saw. It was all over the place, it was coming out of the ground. That is when the Malfeasance boss for Gambit comes up more frequently. And I say more frequently in a relative term because people have played a whole lot of time and not seen it. But just a heads up, I think the drop or the chance for the boss is even lower because it's the first week of the rotation. So you may not see it that often. If you do, best of luck, because I'm sure the first time I see it, I'm gonna lose, and that's just gonna be fun to watch. For the Crucible, we have doubles this week, so definitely work on your 5 matches. You could do Rumble. Remember, if you get top 3, still counts as a win for you, so not so terrible. And quick play here as well, just normal stuff. The breakthrough mode that was in the featured playlist last week has now moved over to your competitive. So Clash Control, Lockdown, all of those pieces, and Breakthrough are now in here as well. So competitive has some variety. I still haven't decided if I'm going to put my head through that wall yet, but we'll have to see later on. I've still got a whole lot of stuff to work on. But other than that, let's hit the Traveler, Tangled Shore, and Dreaming City, and we will get you guys on your way for the week. To the Traveler first. So we are at Eververse, couple pieces to check. First, your Prismatic Matrix. Remember, you only have 3 max, so if for some reason you're starting to check off a lot of boxes and there's something you want, like, I don't know, the Malfeasance ornament that looks really cool, even though I don't even have the quest yet, maybe dump your Prismatic Facets, because honestly, most of these are ornaments or ghosts, and if you're really missing something, I still have my favorite ghost that I'm probably ever going to get, so I could probably pop all 3 of these, maybe get the Malfeasance ornament, but it's up to you. I usually just cover the exotics here and the dances. So the Sanctified Vigilant Shell, this one's going to have Public Defender and Omni Telemetry. I actually did get this one. I like the ornate use to it, kind of fancy looking. The Transcendent Geometry, it's the Vesper of Radius ornament. And as I said, the Aim to Misbehave as well. Got gauntlets and legs for your Dragonfly Regalia set. And your Smooth Dance. I don't even know what that's from. If you know what that's from, say it down in the comments below. I always love when you guys know exactly where these dances come from. Usually you guys know a lot quicker than I do. The Jeweled Protection. If you're going to put a diamond projection on top of your ghost, that's interesting. No crazy packages here. Road to Redemption, we've seen that multiple times. And we can look at the Bright Dust purchases. So Disco. That's exactly what you would expect. And Lucky Shot. Oh, good job. Crazy dances. We've got the Warrior Steed. This thing looks like a speeder from Star Wars. You've got Custom Drive, Destabilizer, so it can roll. It feels like a truck when you're trying to drive this thing around. I know Sparrows aren't supposed to feel different. This thing just felt really wonky. Standard Ghost and Sparrows. You got your Crucible projection. We do have the Telesto Ornament Dread from below. Gives it a bit of a Titan look to it, obviously. And then the Credence, an ornament for the Trust, kind of gives it an old school but polished look. I like it. Everything else you guys can look at, your effects and your shaders. A couple other bounties to discuss here, and then we'll head to the Tangled Shore. Alright, Guardians, before we go to the Tangled Shore, I wanted to discuss this, guys, with you. I have not done any playing since reset, but do you see how many bounties I have done already? This is one of those things, if you want to make the most use of your resets and you've got some extra time and you finished up weekly bounties, clan bounties, and stuff like that. So for example, last week, I finished up my clan bounty because I had honestly saved some. But say you do quite a few dailies, you've been working the dailies through, you finish up your clan, bounty with Hawthorne, and then you actually go through and you finish one of these clan bounties with people, and you've got this one left over. Don't just turn it in to turn it in. Save it. They don't expire. They don't go anywhere. Now, this one will go away in 2 days and 7 hours, and so will this one. If I finish it, cool. If I don't, no big deal. But the fact that I've saved all of these, same with dailies. If you finish it up, keep picking the daily clan bounties up, because then when I go over to this week, I can turn all of these in and be like, I don't know, halfway, if not almost done with my clan EXP, and I don't even have to worry about it. Then I can just start saving them up each week. So if you can actually work on getting ahead on your bounties, same thing. You have your 8 daily bounties for Petra. I have saved 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 are done. I don't know how many of those are going to be duplicates for what she already has, but 6 out of 8, I'm pretty close to being done with that one as well. So that is my one piece of advice on bounties before I go to the Tangled Shore and the Dreaming City. Save the bounties that you've got done if you aren't going to get anything out of them for that week. Petra has 5 daily bounties per day, obviously. But pick up the 5, knock out your 8 that you need daily. But you have 35 that you can pick up throughout the week. Some may be duplicates and you won't be able to always hold all of them, but if you're holding 4 or 5, you turn those in, you probably can finish your, big boost at, your first day. And depending on how high your light level is, that may serve you well. Once you're getting up to 560 and 70, Dreaming City is going to be your big boost. So that's just my advice. Save your bounties if you have them done. And also, if you don't quite finish your, weekly bounties when it comes to Gambit, like this one here that expires in 4 minutes, unfortunately, that's not going to get finished. So this one, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to finish this one, so I'll pick up the new weekly bounty for Gambit this week. There's no way I'm finishing this one, so bye-bye bounty. But if for some reason it's been an off week and you're out of town for the week and you get in on Sunday, pick up your weekly bounties then, because some of the bigger ones do tend to change, like Gambit and Clan and things like that, and you'll have another week to work on them, but another one that you can pick up. So just a small piece of advice when it comes to bounties. I just wanted to say that for you, just for a little bit of help in case you have an off week, you're out of town, still make the most of your time and carry some stuff over. Speeds you along. So let's head to the Tangled Shore, see what his big boss is for the week, and then we'll talk about the Dreaming City. All right, Guardians, so we are at Spider for the week. You guys can look through all of these. Haven't spent the time to actually do each separate one of these videos. At some point, maybe it'll be like Zers hunt down escapees in Pathfinder's Crash. At some point, if you guys want to see a video saying, hey, this is exactly where this lost sector is, this is what he looks like, and here's where it's at, there will be quite a few short videos. I could do a compilation, but I'm not sure if that would be too long to be efficient, but maybe time steps wouldn't be too bad. But I guess we have a duplicate. Gravetide Summoner this week will be on Titan, so I'm going to go ahead and pick that one up. I will do this one probably just on a different character than I did last week. I think I probably ran out my Titan, so I'll just try it in the Warlock, maybe a different build, see if I can work on some efficiency stuff with you guys. He does move around lost sectors, so depending on the day you do this, it may be a different lost sector than last week or the day you ran it. So that would probably be the only variety there. Make sure you do pick up your Masterwork core, at least until Bungie figures out. They did mention in This Week at Bungie, if you didn't catch Flashpoint, that Masterwork cores potentially are not meant to truly be Masterwork cores only. They wanted Infusion to be meaningful, but they are working on ways to make cores, whatever they're going to call them, hopefully more readily available in some way, shape, fashion, or form. So that hopefully will be coming, so don't overspend here and blow all your shards. They are working on something for that. But other than that, always make sure, like me, even if I don't need Seraphite, you may as well have some materials right now. So you never should be maxed out on Glimmer. So sit here, pick up a few, because if nothing else later on, if you have a whole bunch of materials and you want to buy some shards that will help you buy other stuff, you'll at least have some materials to do it. So my advice is just don't ever be maxed out on Glimmer. Come here, spend some where you can. I usually spend down to about 50 and I still never seem to run out. So final piece to the Dreaming City, and we will wrap this thing up. So this basically explains the idea that the Dreaming City is on a 3-week rotation. So you will not be able to access the Shattered Throne this week, and I honestly do not know, heads up, if you actually go to the Queen's Court to get your 3rd Seed of Light if you're not going to get it from the raid. I will have to try another character. I haven't done my hunter yet, so somewhere in the next 2 weeks I might try and get to this point and see if it's even possible to get in there and get the third one, or if it will be just every 3 weeks. But generally, we have complete the mission Broken Courier. We are back to that one, so I guess it is on a 3-week rotation for the missions. These are still for powerful gear, so I know you're going to repeat the missions, but hey, powerful gear and Broken in the Dreaming City is still worth the biggest light boost, so definitely important to knock this stuff out. Daily bounties, again, your 8 here. Notice I have 2 that I've got holding already, but I get 3 new ones. I can finish this stuff today, so that is why I said try and carry some of those bounties over once you're done with them, this bounty for the week, and you'll be prepped and ready to go for next week. Also, we have your Ascendant Challenge. I will do that video and try and get a card up so you guys can click in the top right corner about now, so you can find that spot just to go ahead and jump in to do the Ascendant Challenge. And, of course, the Blind Well. This is, remember, what you have to get the Oracle, offering to the Oracle. So keep that in mind. This is going to still be an important thing to do so you can get those purification bounties and things like that. But other than that, I'll pick up the daily bounties. If you're going to be running the raid, whether it's Glimmer or Shards, pick up these if you're running with a group. At least make sure everybody has a few, so you guys always can get those refills. And other than that, basically wraps up the week. But as you guys can look out over the Dreaming City, you can still see things look fairly tame right now. No crazy floating Taken balls in the air, no Taken coming out of the ground. It is a tame week for the infestation of Taken. So, enjoy the week. We got a couple weeks till the Shattered Throne comes back, and then maybe that week I'll be high enough so I can try soloing that thing and finishing it up. But thank you all for the awesome support. You can follow me on Twitch as Ebontis, Twitter, Ebontis. But right here on YouTube, if you did enjoy the video, drop a like below, leave a comment, question, say hey, what's up, anything you got down there. But as always, hit that subscribe button if you haven't yet. I will keep the content coming to you. And thank you very much again. It's been awesome, and I just want to keep doing everything I can to help you guys out in all of your Destiny 2 ways. Lots to come and lots to do, so enjoy your week.